Hi there. I'm Scott Johnson, and I'm actually a bit nervous, so please give me some grace. This is the first time I've been in front of this many people. Maybe ever? All right, so like a lot of you, I'm an Indiana resident. I live here, I work here, I love Indiana. I am horrified at what I see in America, and I think 50-51 has the answers. So I'm here to answer the question, what is 50-51? Back in late January, a bunch of internet nerds were hanging out on Reddit, as you do, and they were spitballing, and they said something like this: wouldn't it be cool to run the same protest in 50 states, in 50 capitals at one time? And that's how you got 50-51. And unlike a lot of internet nerds, they actually made something happen. They put out a call to action that resulted in what we call the 2-5 event. That was our first Indiana protest. And Indiana 50-51 grew out of that. So we now have, pages stick together, I've got to get better at that. We have a core signal group of 500 users. Now that's where our leadership hangs out and gets stuff done. We have social media channels that range from Facebook to Blogspot to YouTube to TikTok to Reddit to Discord. We have protests in Indianapolis, and that is, it's the state capital, it's our core, that had over 6,000 people in attendance on 4-5. And we actually put someone with a clicker at one of the corners of the marching area, and that person counted 4,860. You might have seen that picture online. We have protests all over the state now. And we have a firm commitment to nonviolence. And yeah, I know about Lafayette, and we're still nonviolent. Mistakes can happen, and you can still have a commitment. And most importantly, we have a commitment to work with everyone, not just the big cities. I'm here, right? I came out on my Saturday, I'm talking to you. So what is 50-51? Well, we look at it as shock and awe for protests. By doing everything across the nation at the same time, we get a dramatically bigger splash. We are a grassroots organization in every state, and we are a distributed organization that cannot be shut down. There is no one 50-51. There's 50-51 Indiana, there's 50-51 Minneapolis. So let's talk about what makes Indiana 50-51 special. Well, in a nutshell, it's leadership. Unlike a lot of states, we actually took the time to establish a unified 50-51 here in Indiana. And so for a grassroots thing, we actually have some structure, and that's kind of weird. So we organize at the state level, then the congressional district level, and we've got districts 5 through 8 with leadership, and we're working on others. We might actually have another one already, even though I'm here talking to you. Things are constantly happening. We've got then we organize at the county level, and we just got our first county. Jackson County has come up to us and said they want to be a part of us. And then town level, and we haven't even started that yet. But our goal is to organize 288,000 people in the state of Indiana, and I'll come back to, at the end, I'll explain why. And we have a plan. So now you're thinking something like, bunch of internet weirdos, these protests won't matter, protests don't ever change anything. Now I'm going to tackle that explicitly. And I'm going to admit to you that protests today are not going to change anything. What protests today do is they train us how to protest. And I would argue that America has forgotten how to protest since the big movements of the 60s and the 70s. And yeah, some groups still know how to do this, but the bulk of us don't. Okay? If you are part of a minority group, you know how to do this, and you probably know how to do this better than I do. I'll be perfectly honest. Because I haven't been politically active much of my life. Right? This is new to me. But America is in crisis, and 50-51 is leading to people all across the country stepping up. Individually, I don't mean anything. but as part of a network of people across the country united by a movement, we matter. Second thing, protests today make us feel better. There's a statement going around the protest world that says action is the remedy for anxiety. And I will tell you something, I feel better since I started going to protests. I don't feel alone. I have found my people. Janet, Taylor, others, they're now my friends, and I have access to a community of hundreds, if not thousands of people. Until that happens for you, I cannot describe how good it feels. Now, the next thing is protests are a sourcing function. They are helping us find people for the movement. Now, I'm going to be clear. If I was to go to Google and give them $500 and run a Google ad, I couldn't find you. There is no singular targeting criteria to find people who are pissed at America, right? Because a lot of people are pissed, but not everyone's motivated to come out. I run an event and you come out, and that's step one. So I'm going to look at the crowd in an event, and I'm going to find the people who cared enough to make a sign that amused me, make a sign that was smart, people who stayed around to talk to me, people who paid attention, people who pitched in. And that's how we actually got our state leader. He pitched in. Now those people, they get my business card. And then what I do is I wait and I see who bothers to contact me, because lots of people in the moment are interested. But when they go away and then they come back to me and say, yeah, hi, I want to help, that's the people who care. And that's how I bring you into the fold. So now I talked about 288,000. What the heck does that mean? Well, the goal here is to get 3.5% of the population protesting, and that's an awfully specific number, so we either made it up or there's something to it. Now, there is a Harvard historian / social scientist named Erica Chenoweth who has studied this, because people in academia study everything. And what she found was in 53% of the countries studied, nonviolent protests led to the fall of an authoritarian government. Now, this isn't an immediate thing. You got to keep doing it. But if you get the numbers high enough, it makes the government fall. 26% of the cases, a violent revolution was necessary. And that's not going to be us. We are not violent people. We look out at the war, we look back at January 6th and we see an abomination, a stain upon America. Well, and that other percentage of the time, well, the authoritarians won, right? So it's not a given. But we think if we do this, we have a very good chance, if not actually an inevitability, of bringing the administration down. So let's recap. What is 5051? We are a movement that is focused on change. We are 100% nonviolent. We believe America is in trouble. We believe we are in a constitutional crisis. We believe we are under authoritarian rule right now. Now, they don't believe me? There is a disappeared person tracking website in America right now. The last time I checked, over 1,200 people were abducted and disappeared. Don't believe me? There is a concentration camp in America in Miami called Krome, Krome. It is currently 10 times overcrowded. How safe is that for people? Where is our due process? Don't believe me? Trump has defied the courts fully. We are in a constitutional crisis. This is an illegal presidency that makes Nixon look like an amateur. And Nixon was impeached and thrown out. Now, Republicans today do not have the courage to impeach Trump. Okay? So the people have to stand up. We want to see the administration out, and we believe that by protesting enough, we can do this. And that's it. So hopefully some of you will come up and see me and get a business card. Some percentage of you will then contact me after. And what I hope to get out of my coming here is I'd like to stand up this county with leadership and have you become a part of the movement. Thank you so much.